Hey, welcome back, students. In this lesson, what I want to do is show you how to do the short method to calculate stoichiometry type problems. And so let me just provide you a very generic equation here. Let's say that you had 1 mole of A reacting with 2 moles of B to form 3 moles of AB. Let's just pretend that this reaction here actually took place, and these are the generic formulas. So as you can tell, this is a synthesis reaction, so you're combining A and B to form a new compound, AB, on the right side. And so if you look at this type of reaction here is useful for us, especially if we are giving a certain amount of grams to begin with, or a certain number of moles. And so what we've got here on the bottom is that we're going to create a table. And the table's already been created for us, but essentially if we create this table the way I've laid it out already here, and you create rows, the first row being grams, the second row being molar mass, and the third row being moles, is that what you do here is you create yourself a little easy pathway to actually calculate everything that you need. So if you start with grams, you want to fill out the table according to grams first. So what we've got here is the equation. One of the first things that I want you to do with all of these is go ahead and do the following. I need for you to go ahead and draw lines. Every time you see an arrow, go ahead and draw a line just down like that. And that'll essentially indicate that there is a column there. Every time you see a plus sign, go ahead and do the same thing. And so what you've done essentially, you've created 3 columns for each of the 3 compounds in this chemical reaction. If we do that then we know that at the top of the column we're going to have a column heading. The first column is going to be the column for the 1A. The second column is going to be the column for the 2B, and the third column is going to be for the compound 3AB. Notice that the 3, the 2, and the 1 here are coefficients that are going to be needed only when it comes to figuring out mole ratios. Other than that, they're not really needed. So essentially, if we are given a certain amount, let's pretend that they give us a certain amount of grams. And so an example problem could be the following. Let's pretend that they give us, for example, let's say that the problem said, if you're given 2 grams, or rather 2 moles of compound A, and they want you to determine, essentially they say find how many the moles of AB that are formed. That's typically the way one generic problem would be written. And so essentially what you need to do here is just type in the information that you know. Since you've already created the table and you've created your rows for grams, molar mass, and moles, only fill in the stuff that you really need. So in this particular case, they gave us moles, so I'm going to go ahead and put in what they give us. They give us 2 moles of A, and what they want us to find is AB. So I'll go to the column that has AB as the compound, and I'll put a little question mark in the area where moles is, because that's what I'm trying to find. Now the short method essentially involves this. You're going to be doing a crisscross effect. So since I'm trying to find the question mark over here on the right hand side, essentially what I'll do is I'll take the number of moles that they give me and multiply it by the mole ratio. Notice that if I'm trying to find AB, AB has to be on top in the numerator, but I could write it out, or I could do the following crisscross method. I can take the 2 moles, multiply it times 3, and then I'm going to divide it by 1, and this will give me the question mark, or the number of moles of AB formed in this particular question. Now the process could be any way that you want. Essentially this one here only asks us to do this particular step, but if we wanted to do a separate type of problem and find out, say for example, the moles of B, well, this process would then begin slightly different. I'm going to go ahead and leave the red just so you can see how we got the red, but this is the way we find blue. Let's pretend that we're trying to find the moles of AB. So then I would begin again with 2 moles multiplied times 2 divided by 1, and that would give me the question mark that I want. Notice the crisscrossing effect here as well. This is what we call the short method, and the reason it's called the short method is because it is a shortened way of calculating everything without having to write everything down that we normally would use in the long method. So go ahead and practice that. In the next couple of videos, we're actually going to do some problems, and I encourage you to watch them so you can actually see how this short method is used to solve a couple problems. So we'll see you in the next video. Subscribe us and keep watching.